Hi everyone, my name is Enzo and welcome to our quick orchid repotting tutorial. You're likely already quite familiar with the Phalaenopsis or moth orchids. Now these are epiphytic, meaning that in their natural environment they use their thick fleshy roots to latch onto other surfaces such as tree branches, and then gain nutrients and moisture from their surroundings. Normally, these are sold in clear plastic pots filled with either sphagnum moss or bark. Other orchid varieties, such as Cymbidium, Dendrobium, and Cambria, are terrestrial, and these will normally be sold potted in a soil mix. Houseplant orchids should only really be repotted once they have completely filled their container, and should only be upsized into a pot about 1 inch larger from the edge of its current pot at maximum. Upsizing prematurely or in too large of a pot can cause the orchid to focus on growing roots as opposed to vegetative growth, and this can also postpone flowering. Furthermore, the excess soil can also retain more moisture, which can cause problems such as root rot, so make sure to keep your orchids snug. To repot an epiphytic orchid, slowly pull out the base of the plant from the pot, taking extra care not to break or harm the fleshy roots. If the plant feels quite stuck, you can gently squeeze the sides of the pot to loosen the roots. Next, with your fingers, carefully tease the bark or the moss off the roots. This is a good opportunity to trim off any mushy or deceased roots using some sterile shears. This doesn't harm the orchid and will promote the growth of new, healthy roots. Grab your new pot and put a thin layer of bark at the bottom, then place your naked orchid on top. Holding the base of your orchid with one hand to keep it upright, backfill the sides of the new pot with fresh orchid bark or an orchid-specific mix. Tap the sides of your pot regularly to help the larger chunks of bark to settle around the roots. We don't want there to be any large pockets of air inside the pot, as these won't transfer humidity to the roots as well as the bark would. Once you have finished filling the new pot, give your orchid a good watering with lukewarm water and leave it in a location with bright, indirect light so it can recover from the transplant. Ideally, repotting should be carried out during spring or after flowering. The warmer and brighter conditions in spring will promote faster recovery and the chance for vigorous blooming during the following months. Otherwise, repotting after flowering ensures the developing buds don't get shocked by the stress and drop before they get the chance to bloom. And there you have it. Repotting orchids is really quite easy, and they can go long periods of time before needing to be upsized. We hope this short video tutorial has been very helpful to you in your orchid care journey. We hope to see you next time.